EFX at the MGM Grand Hotel, starring the man who became famous as the Phantom of the Opera, Michael Crawford.
Here in the world of effects, anything is possible, and sometimes I say, so nearly anything is possible.
Michael Crawford not only stars in the show, he helped create it, and the show is huge. After it was designed, it took 10 months and $40 million to get it up and running. The theater at the MGM was completely gutted and rebuilt just for this show. EFX has dozens of sets weighing hundreds of thousands of pounds. The technology to operate the 90-minute extravaganza didn't even exist a few years ago. Some of it was even borrowed from the space program.
It's certainly not the theater that most of us grew up with. We're used to pulling on ropes and pushing scenery, and this changed all of that. It's become a very automated show, heavy in electronics, motors, but it's state-of-the-art, and this is where theater is headed.
To give you an idea of the technology and cost of the show, the two mechanical fire-breathing dragons that battle it out on stage each night cost $1 million each. It's a show that Crawford says couldn't be done anywhere but here.
What was so impressive was the amount of, because of the gambling revenue, what is available to spend on a stage, which we could never do in England, in the UK, and you could never do on Broadway even.
We were the first television crew ever allowed backstage during a performance. With tons of scenery moving, stage fog hiding the action, and more than 60 performers dashing about in near darkness backstage, it's not hard to see why they don't have many visitors. It can be very dangerous. The crew of 75 that runs the show watches it on infrared cameras just to be able to see what's going on in the dark. Crawford says all the effects and technology are nice, but the real goal is to entertain the audience, just like Las Vegas has always done.
I come from a small town in England, and you used to read about it. You'd see it on the news. You'd see Las Vegas, and it was in those days. It was all Presley and Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr. And when I first came here and visited, it's an unbelievable place to first visit.